Hello and welcome to another of our MMU Q-Step video tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at measures of central tendency and proving that they're a lot less intimidating than their name suggests. While measures of central tendency sounds terrifying, it's really just a very fancy way of referring to measures of averages for your data. There are three main measures of average which you probably learned in school. The mean, the median, and the mode, which some genius decided to give basically all the same name, like a parent giving all their stupidly similar children names beginning with the same letter. Measures of central tendency are really important and are used all the time in society. From picking a film where we'll look at an average user rating, to policy making where key concepts like the poverty line will be based on an average. So let's do a quick school recap by running through the mean, median and mode using the ages of some very good boys as our data. The mode is the most common response in your data. So here the only age occurring more than once is 5, so our mode would be 5. The median is the middle value in your data. To calculate this, we organise the data in order from lowest value to highest, and then we select the middle response, which here is 7, so our median is 7. The mean is the average of all the numbers. To calculate the mean, we add all of the values together and then divide by the number of values there are, which here is 7 good boys. This gives us the mean age of the dogs at 7.43 years. Deciding which measures of central tendency to use depends on the type of variables you have. For nominal variables, the only appropriate measure of central tendency is the mode. There is no order to the responses, so it makes no sense to order them for the median or add them for the mean. In our mode of transport example here, what would one walk to work plus one cycle even mean? For ordinal variables, we can use the median as well as the mode now, as our response categories have an order to them. However, we still can't use the mean as our values aren't numeric. Looking at this real-life data for highest educational qualification, we can see that the most common response is for degree, so that is our mode. However, when we calculate the median, this comes out as 3 for A levels, which takes into account the spread and order of this data slightly more than the mode does. Scale variables are a bit like the Holy Grail, as we can use all 3 measures of central tendency with them. However, the mode isn't always the most useful for scale variables, especially when we have large amounts of data where there can often be multiple modes. In general, the mean is used most commonly for scale data, as it makes use of its numerical nature. However, it's always worth looking at your data before deciding which measure of central tendency to use, as the mean can be heavily affected by outliers. For instance, imagine we want to know the average annual wage at this company. While the workers all have a fairly similar wage, the CEO rakes in billions. Calculating the average wage using the mean, the average salary in the company would be £566 million, while the median would be £22,000. Because of the CEO outlier, the median provides a much more reasonable representation than the mean does here. So hopefully you feel well above average now when it comes to measures of central tendency. Thanks for watching another of our MMU Q-Step video tutorials, and we'll see you again soon.